For Eric J on Sports, I'm Eric J, and this is what I think. One of the big stories in sports in the NFL offseason was the question of whether or not Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott was going to receive his contract extension, or was he going to have to wait out his current contract into free agency and then try to get money from somebody, because it appeared that the Cowboys didn't actually really have any intentions of wanting to pay him. He's been their starting quarterback, and Cowboys general manager and owner Jerry Jones seems to always give him the vote of confidence. Oh yeah, he's our guy, we love him. But when a contract extension is discussed, Dak Prescott doesn't seem to be in the conversation. Micah Parsons has been extended. CeeDee Lamb has been extended. But somehow the Dak Prescott extension seems to be taking a little longer than people would think it should be taking. Other quarterbacks, when it comes time to extend their contracts, get the extensions and don't have to go into free agency to try to get a new deal. But somehow the Cowboys quarterback, which is one of the most prized positions in sports, from Roger Staubach to Troy Aikman to Danny White and now Tony Romo and now Dak Prescott, being the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys means something. You're the leader of America's team. But for some reason, being the leader of America's team in 2024 doesn't mean as much as it did 10 years, 20 years ago, because though Dak Prescott seems to keep winning 3 consecutive 12-5 seasons, he's not doing much in the playoffs, and the Cowboys haven't won a championship since Troy Aikman. So maybe that's why Dak Prescott hasn't gotten an extension. But a funny thing happened on the way to Dak's extension. The Cowboys suddenly got really bad. The Cowboys are currently sitting as one of the worst teams in the NFL with one of the worst records, and Dak Prescott was heard saying on the sideline in a recent game, "We effing suck." And that's honest, and it's valid, and it's a legitimate feeling. If you don't think your team is very good, then you don't think your team is very good. And Dak right now doesn't think his team is very good. But my question is, how will that affect him getting his extension? If Jerry Jones thinks that Dak Prescott thinks that the team is horrible, will Jerry want to sign him? Will Jerry back the truck up to Dak Prescott's home and say, you know what, here's all the money you've been asking for. Here's $60 million a year. Here's everything you've wanted. We love you. If he thinks that Dak thinks that the team sucks and the team's not very good and not going to do much, will Jerry Jones say, you know what, you're honest. We appreciate your opinion. We appreciate your feelings on this situation. Here's some money. And if Jerry does do this, the bigger question is, will Dak want to sign it? Will Dak want the extension? Will he want to stay in Dallas? If he thinks the team stinks and he doesn't see a future there as far as winning, if winning is something that matters to him more than the bag, and Dak thinks that the Cowboys are horrible, will Dak even want to stay in Dallas, even at $60 million a year? That's the more interesting question, because Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams came to the Raiders to play with Derek Carr. The Raiders got rid of Derek Carr, and Davante said, yeah, you got rid of my boy, the reason I'm here, but I think Aiden O'Connell is a great quarterback. Maybe we should go with him. The Raiders decided not to go with him, so Davante Adams said, you know what, I don't want to be here. But for Davante, it wasn't about winning. He just wanted to be happy and comfortable, which is why he went to the Jets, who had the same bad record as the Raiders had. So it wasn't about winning, it was about being happy. He was happy with Derek Carr. He thought he could have been happy with Aiden O'Connell. He wasn't happy with Gardner Minshew. So he wanted to go. Now, Max Crosby is saying he doesn't want to be part of a rebuilding process anymore. He's been with the Raiders 6 years, and they've lost all the time. Every year he's been there, they haven't made the playoffs, they've been a bad team, etc. He wants to go somewhere where he has a chance to win, and win now. But he wants to stay a true blue Raider, or a true black Raider, I guess. So for him, it's about winning. So decisions are going to have to be made regarding him in the offseason, whether or not they trade him or try to convince him to stay with the promise of, yeah, we're going to get a good quarterback and we're going to get some more weapons and we're going to get you some help on the defensive line and we're going to win. That's what has to happen there. So now with Dak, it's those same questions. Can the Cowboys convince him to stay with the promise of improvement and then with the promise of his extension? And then if he's offered his extension, does he accept it? Or does he just ride it out and wait until he's a free agent and leave? Or does he ask to be traded? Because there's a lot of teams that are a quarterback away from being really good. There's a lot of teams that are a good quarterback away from being really great. Dak Prescott's not a great quarterback, but he is a very good one. He is much better than some of the other guys. Is he top 10? I don't know. I don't do lists. Is he top 10? Is he top 20? I don't know. But he is a quality quarterback. And there are teams that right now don't have quality quarterbacks. When you're running a rotation of Andy Dalton and Bryce Young, you don't have a quality quarterback. When you're running a rotation of Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, you don't have a quality quarterback. When you've got a Trevor Lawrence who used to be good but ain't that great anymore, you don't have a quality quarterback. When you're running a rotation of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, in some people's opinion, you don't have a quality quarterback. So Dak Prescott, for some of these situations, would be an upgrade, even though he's gone to the playoffs with teams that were number one seeds and couldn't win a game. Even though. So what does Dak do? Does Jerry offer Dak the money, and does Dak accept the money if he's not happy with the direction of the team? That's something worth looking into. That's an interesting question for now. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out in the offseason, because I'm almost certain that Jerry's not going to offer the extension before the season is over. Remember to like and share this video and subscribe to this channel, and visit the Eric J on Sports website, and follow me on Facebook at Eric J on Sports 1 and on Instagram and Twitter at Eric J on Sports. And for Eric J on Sports, I'm Eric J, and this is what I think.